For decades, Dame Judi Dench was seen as untouchable, a jewel of British culture whose presence alone could command a theater. Her mastery of Shakespeare and effortless authority created an image of invulnerability. Yet, even someone as revered as Dench experienced moments where her voice was overlooked or her insights underestimated. Her career, often admired for its seamless success, was not immune to subtle pressures or misalignment with the intentions of others. Dench approached these challenges with quiet reflection, never dramatizing them, instead acknowledging that even prestige does not shield anyone from minor frustrations. She revealed that true strength lies not in public confrontation but in navigating these moments with honesty, patience, and grace, allowing her to maintain integrity without the need to assert dominance. The quiet nature of power is often imagined as something loud and unmistakable, yet Dench's experience shows it frequently exists in subtle forms. Who receives attention, whose ideas are credited, and whose discomfort is dismissed are often silent markers of influence. In environments driven more by commercial than artistic priorities, she recognized these nuances without framing herself as a victim. Instead, she approached them with clarity and thoughtful decision-making. Dench understood that authority is not about volume, but about discernment, and that influence can be preserved by knowing when to engage and when to step back. Her approach was deliberate, choosing where to invest her energy rather than demanding acknowledgement, demonstrating that power can exist quietly through intention and presence rather than spectacle. Authority through choice. Throughout her career, Dench encountered moments when decisions about her work or image were made without her input. Rather than reacting with frustration, she responded with careful clarity. She understood that true authority comes from choice, the ability to decide where to focus, which collaborations to pursue, and when to step away. When marketing strategies or project presentations misaligned with her artistic values, she did not argue or resist aggressively. She chose distance instead of compromise, showing that maintaining integrity often requires measured restraint. This approach did not alienate others but instead reinforced her commitment to meaningful work. Her clarity demonstrated that authority does not demand loud assertion. It can emerge simply through intentional decisions and a quiet confidence in one's own principles. The challenges of collaboration. Acting thrives on communication, trust, and shared understanding. Dench has often reflected on the difficulty when collaborative approaches clash, particularly when others' processes unintentionally created distance rather than connection. She recognized that each actor works differently. Some need solitude, others rely on exchange and interaction. When these differences caused strain, Dench did not respond with confrontation, but absorbed the lesson and made private decisions about future collaborations. Respect, she believed, was not synonymous with agreement, but with consistent presence and acknowledgement. By navigating these situations thoughtfully, she maintained professionalism without compromising her standards. Her experience illustrates that collaboration is most effective when boundaries are understood and when each participant honors both the craft and each other's process. Admiration. With boundaries, working alongside exceptional talent can be both inspiring and challenging. Dench maintained admiration for her colleagues while recognizing when dynamics no longer served her work. She separated public acknowledgement of brilliance from private boundaries, understanding that respect does not require enduring discomfort. This distinction allowed her to preserve her dignity and continue enjoying her craft. By navigating admiration and collaboration with this awareness, she could appreciate others' gifts without sacrificing her own needs or well-being. Her example teaches that professional relationships benefit from balance, acknowledging talent and contribution while maintaining clear, healthy boundaries. It is this thoughtful approach that allowed Dench to sustain long-term relationships and collaborations without compromising her personal or professional integrity. Mentorship and its fragility. Early in her career, Dench experienced mentorship as a sacred exchange between generations, rooted in curiosity and mutual respect. Over time, She observed how quickly that balance could shift when enthusiasm was misaligned with authority. In situations where correction was delivered without humility, trust could be challenged. Dench did not respond defensively. She recalibrated expectations and allowed the work to speak for itself. While the closeness of mentorship might fade under such circumstances, her professionalism remained intact. She demonstrated that the strength of guidance lies in shared respect and understanding, and that maintaining integrity sometimes requires quietly stepping back. This approach reflects her belief that relationships built on mutual regard cannot be forced, but can flourish naturally when both parties honor the process and each other. Words that shape relationships. Theater relies on precision and emotional openness, making it sensitive to subtle shifts in communication. Dench has spoken about the impact of remarks delivered without consideration, which could affect relationships long after a performance ended. She responded not with confrontation, but by adjusting her own emotional distance, preserving her focus and professionalism. By distinguishing between momentary discomfort and lasting lessons, she ensured that her performances remained unbroken while protecting her own well-being. This ability to navigate complex interpersonal dynamics demonstrates an awareness that respect and understanding are cultivated through mindful interactions rather than through public displays or arguments. Her measured response highlights the power of self-protection through reflection and quiet adjustment rather than reactive engagement. The discipline of restraint. Dench's greatest strength lay in her restraint. She did not demand apologies or raise her voice when expectations were compromised. Her responses were intentional and principled, rooted in the belief that dignity does not require constant explanation. Walking away from misaligned situations was not defeat but discernment. She understood that repeating oneself to those unwilling to listen diminishes authority. By preserving her energy and choosing when to engage, she maintained control over her environment without spectacle. This approach, often misunderstood as passivity, is in fact a demonstration of power grounded in self-respect and reflection. It illustrates how true professionalism relies on knowing which battles are worth pursuing and which are best left to unfold naturally, with confidence in one's own judgment. The power of saying no. Dench instinctively understood the importance of saying no. She declined projects not out of ego, but because they lacked alignment with her principles. Each decision to step away was deliberate, rarely publicized, but deeply impactful. Saying no preserved the integrity of her yes and allowed her to focus on work that resonated with her values. Her career demonstrates that boundaries and selective engagement are as important as talent and opportunity. By making choices rooted in principle rather than pressure, Dench cultivated an environment where her craft could flourish and her contributions remained meaningful. The power of no, in her story, is a tool for protecting authenticity and sustaining long-term success. Aging with authority. As she aged, Dench resisted narratives that equated experience with fragility. Her authority stemmed from decades of mastery, not sentimentality. She remained sharp, curious, and fully engaged, expecting to be treated with professionalism. When expectations were challenged, she adjusted her engagement rather than compromise her standards. This quiet confidence unsettled some, but it preserved her autonomy and reinforced her lifelong approach to integrity. Dench's example shows that aging does not diminish authority when experience is combined with discernment. Instead, it provides additional weight and perspective, allowing for continued engagement without sacrificing personal standards or self-respect. A career defined by choices. Dench's career can be read as a record of intentional decisions, where to invest energy, which collaborations to pursue, and when to step away. These choices, often invisible to the public, allowed her to work for decades without bitterness, scandal, or regret. Longevity was not accidental, but the result of careful alignment with her values and thoughtful navigation of professional relationships. Each choice reinforced her autonomy and preserved the quality of her work. Her story reminds us that career success is as much about selective engagement and discernment as it is about talent, and that the power to shape one's trajectory lies in consistently honoring one's principles. The line that remains: throughout her life, one principle remained constant. Once respect is lost, the door closes, gently but firmly. This was never punishment, but an act of self-preservation. By maintaining this line, Dench shaped a career defined by integrity, longevity, and clarity. Her story demonstrates that true authority lies in knowing when to walk away, when to speak, and when to simply be present. It is this combination of wisdom, restraint, and self-respect that made her untouchable. Not her fame, awards, or acclaim, but the consistent, intentional choices that allowed her to navigate a lifetime in the arts with grace, dignity, and unwavering integrity.